The depot yarn bombing was thought of by one of our volunteers. We've been working really hard over the last year, moving the collection out of the museum in preparation for our rehabilitation that will start in June. And she thought it would be fun if we had something that was creative and fun for people in the community to do. One of the goals of the Depot Museum is to become a community-based institution with activities. So we thought it would be a great idea if we could combine knitting with a community activity.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to ask, first of all, I'll give you the quick spiel, but have any of you been to the depot before?
Knitting is something that women used to do while they were waiting for the train. We kind of made up the Knit In name. It's where you get together, you sit together, and you do one thing. So we're knitting, so it's our Knit In. There's about 15 to 18 women that came in today, and we've had some that have come and stayed, just being a part of the depot and sitting and knitting like they would have done in the early 1900s waiting for the train. And then we've had others that have just stopped in and grabbed a project and left and moved on to their things that they need to do today.
And while they were knitting, our volunteer Christina introduced them to the idea of yarn bombing. And she had all these assignments set up. She had gone around the park and measured trees and fence posts, and so she passed out assignments, and that's how we arranged for the pieces to come in.
The depot itself was built in 1909. It was part of the Colorado and Southern Railway that runs through Broomfield. It was part of the Denver and Interurban Railway system. It was a commuter train from Denver to Boulder. Broomfield itself was a small enough town that there wasn't housing for the station agent, so they built the depot with the train station on one side and the house on the other. So that the agent and his family could live within the depot while he was working. We're in the process of restoring the depot. We're going to shut down here soon, and they're going to redo, starting with the windows and the doors, and restore it to its original 1909 state.
And so the wonderful thing about this restoration is it'll allow us to take better care of the collection, and it'll also allow us to preserve what is probably the most important thing in the museum's collection, which is the building itself. Once the Yarn Bomb supporters had knitted and crocheted all the pieces that we were going to use, we all got together and we installed them in one afternoon right into the early evening so that they were ready on April Fool's Day. It looked amazing. I think people were really surprised at how bright the area looked and how much color it brought in. I think they were also intrigued by how delicate some of the patterns were and how much effort some people had put into the pieces that they created. I think knitting and crocheting were great mediums. Knitting and crocheting would have been things that people might have done while they waited for the train. It's something that older generations are still doing, and it's something that the younger generations are really interested in picking up on. I think it's been fun to see how much interest this generated in the museum and in the park and in the site.